Hello everybody. I'm making a video on my oil change, and we're going to see how much is in this catch can. So welcome to the vlog, and we're going to do the oil change on the 2011 3.5 liter EcoBoost. We're going to check the catch can. I didn't get a measuring cup, but I'll use a cup and I'll drain the oil from the catch can so we can see how much oil actually gets blown by these engines, at least this one anyway. And the nice thing about this catch can is it's got a level, so it's got like a seeing eye tube that we'll be able to see where it's at after 5,000 miles. So I'm going to be showing you that. Here's the things you're going to need. I just use a regular oil filter wrench. You'll need a 16mm wrench for the drain, or ratchet and socket. I find out a wrench is a little easier to get into my EcoBoost because of the stabilizer bar on the front. And here's what I use. I use genuine Motorcraft parts. I've never had any issues when I've used Motorcraft. This van, my van over here, that's all I've used in it when I've had it, and it's probably got close to 400,000 miles on it. The 3.5 EcoBoost takes the Motorcraft filter FL500S, and this engine takes 6 quarts, so you'll have to buy an extra quart of 530. I run what the motor calls for, which is 530. I use the synthetic blend because I haven't been able to find the full synthetic unless you go to the Ford dealer here, and I believe it's kind of overpriced at the Ford dealer. So I use original Motorcraft. I've always used it on the Fords I've had and never had a whole lot of issues with it. So we're going to move on. Okay guys, we're here at the engine. We're getting ready for the oil change. I got it up on ramps, and I got the wheels blocked. Got the wheels blocked for safety. I got both sides, so we're up on ramps to make it a little easier. You can do it without ramps, but see if we can see this glass. Okay, there's the seeing eye, or the tube that they use so you can see. And if you can see, after 5,000 miles, I'm up to that level right there. Right there's the level. That's the oil. Let's see if you can see. Yeah, you can see where it's darker there. That's how much oil is in there, which is quite a bit that can be pumped in through your engine after 5,000 miles. So I'm guessing another 5,000 miles on this, 10,000 miles, you're probably going to pump that much more into your engine without this catch can. Okay guys, it's actually a 15mm. Told you wrong at the start there. Sorry about that. Some reason my 15mm socket would not fit, which is strange. So we'll go ahead and get this off here. Okay. Here it broke loose. Once you get it broke loose, it spins off pretty easy. So we'll try to do this with getting as little oil all over the place here. I like to push in on the plug until it gets close and then pull it out real quick. And I warmed up the engine before I did this. So we're getting close. Okay, I think it's ready to come out. Nope, not quite. We're getting close. Okay, I think it's ready to come out now. Yep, and see what I mean? Stuff gets everywhere. Oh, hot shit. Crap. Well, guys, I just took an oil shower. Oh, well, I'm gonna have to clean that up. Wow. Like I said, I've never not made a mess with this thing. And that's just the way it is, I guess. So, I just took a shower in oil, so that's rather comical. So, that should be a good laugh. Now, I'll let it drain for 10-15 minutes to where it's just a slow drip. That way I make sure I get it all out. But I didn't expect to take an oil shower like this. Oh, I got it all over my shirt. And all over my ramps. So, I'll go get a rag and get this cleaned up. Okay, what I like to do, I clean the drain plug off real good. So I'll clean the drain plug. Ford don't put magnets on them. Some manufacturers do. And this one's got a rubber seal, so you don't have to worry about a crush washer. And we're going to stick this back in. We're going to wipe off any place where there's oil, which it seems to get everywhere on this truck. I wipe off all the oil. Then we'll stick the drain plug back in. Okay, we got the drain plug back in. Then I'll wipe it off real good. Okay. Grab my wrench here. Get my wrench on there and we'll snug it up. Be careful when it's warm because you could possibly strip this out. I just snug it to where I feel it won't turn anymore. And then just give it one more little tug and it should be pretty tight. And it's tight. I don't think it's going to go anywhere. Like I say, I just snug it to where it won't turn anymore. and we're good. Now we're going to move on to the oil filter. Okay, we're to where the oil filter is located, which is right up in here. It's kind of a pain to get to, but you got one clip, two clips, 3 and 4 clips, and then this flap will drop down and you can access the oil filter. So you just kind of, they only turn one way, so be careful. You know how plastic is. Plastic tends to break. But right up here, there's your oil filter. Sorry for the lighting. I'm losing light. It's about 7:30 here. And then your oil filter will drain right here. So set you up right here. We'll move my oil pan. Right underneath that. And I'll get my oil filter wrench up in here, which ain't the easiest place to get to. And we'll get it loose. If I can get it to stay on. Okay. All right. Sorry, my hand got in the way. But, okay, I just get it loose enough to spin it off. So, it's loose enough to spin off, so I just start spinning it. You should see oil start to drain out. And there it is. Oh, I dropped it. That's wonderful. Well, guys, I just keep taking an oil shower. Don't know how healthy it is to take an oil shower, but it can't be good. I let the filter drain, then I pull it out the access hole. And there's the filter. Then I just set it in with the but yeah, I just set the oil filter in here. Then I'll get a rag and I'll clean it up real good up in there. And I'll clean off my skid plate, because there's oil running down right there. So get all that cleaned up. Okay, I got that cleaned up. Then I reach up in here, take a rag, and then I clean off the filter surface with a clean rag. Then I'll set the rag up there for now to catch any more oil that might drip out of it. Then we'll head over to here. Okay guys, what I like to do is I'll get the filter, take it out. Now you can use old or new oil. I tend to use new. I use the box to hold it, and then I'll open my quart of new oil. That's just how I do it. You can use old oil, it doesn't matter. But I'll take a little bit of the new oil and I'll lube up the seal just like that. Just run my finger around it and I'll lube up the seal. I'll set it back down in there. I'll lube up the seal, then I stick the filter back up in the access hole and try to keep it as clean as possible. This is kind of hard to get to because you can't see anything. There is a little place on the outside of the frame. Let me grab you so you can see. Right here, you can see the oil cooler. Right there, and then you can see me turn on the filter. Right there you can see it, and that helps you line it up. So you can see a little bit, but not a lot. And then just use a quarter turn till it's tight. Now my hands are slippery, so if my hands are slippery, I'll take the filter wrench and just give it a quarter turn after it's tight. That way I know for sure it ain't leaking. But there's a hole, that hole right there, you can see the filter right there. Sorry for the lighting ain't great. Like I said, I'm running out of daylight. But if you see on this filter, make sure that that gasket comes off. If not, you'll have a leak. So I'm going to get this filter wrench up in there, give it a quarter turn with that. That way I know for sure it's tight since my hands keep slipping. Okay guys, filter's tight. I still need to clean the engine yet. I haven't got to that yet, but I will definitely clean it here. Probably tomorrow when I have more light. But don't forget to cover up your access hole. That little flap down there to access the filter, because it's kind of hard up here. But this is where I had to get the filter wrench to tighten it. Your filter's right down in there. So we'll get to filling her up. Okay guys, I make sure my funnel's good and clean. I always run a rag through it. Make sure my funnel's good and clean. Then we'll take the cap off, put the funnel in. I always start with the 5-quart, and I'm sorry for the noise, the trucker's over here at the bar. And we got the high school football game going on here. So I apologize if you guys hear the announcer. And hopefully you guys can hear me. But we'll get started filling this. This one's a hard one to fill, so. Start out slow. That way I don't get it everywhere. Whoa, I almost spilled it. About had an accident there. Some of this part of the video I'll probably speed up. You don't want to watch me to pour oil the whole time, do you? I know this engine takes 6 quarts, so I just go ahead and put 6 quarts. Then I pull it off, let it run. I'll check, and then I'll check the oil and make sure it's at the proper level, and then we should be good to go, because I'll check for leaks under the truck, make sure nothing's leaking. So but as long as nothing's leaking, we're good to go. And on these ecoboost, make sure with all the crankcase pressure they have, make sure you get your dipstick seated all the way, because if you don't, you could have issues. I did see a video on YouTube that guy did not get his dipstick on all the way, and it blew all the oil out and ruined his cam phaser and timing chain. I believe there's a video out on that. I believe Daniel Yeager, I think is how you pronounce his name, Films. He's the one that done the video on that truck where he had to replace the timing chain and stuff. And we're done, we're full. All I gotta do is check this catch can. Okay, probably what you guys have been waiting for. We're gonna check the catch can. So I just undoing my clamp here. That way I can get the cup underneath it. I need to get a pair of small pliers. Okay. Got the small pliers. Yep, now I got it stuck. I'd like to put a valve on this so I can just run a hose to it and drain it. Try not to drop the plug. Trying to make sure I get as much out of it as I can. Put the plug back in. Tighten it up. Then I'll wipe the bottom of it off. Then we'll reinstall it back home. Phew. Then I'll tighten the clamp back up and we're good to go. And then we can see how much oil is actually in this can, because it does work. Cheap eBay catch can. Actually works. Make sure it's good and tight. There, it ain't going nowhere. Okay guys, I'm about ready to show you how much come out of this. This is 5,000 miles. And this is pretty crazy. How much oil is actually being pumped into your intake. And there it is. I would say maybe 4 to 6 ounces maybe. Around in there, but all that gets pumped into your intake. That's a lot of oil being pumped in your intake. So I can't believe that. Cheap eBay catch can works, and it works actually rather well. So I definitely suggest getting one, because I mean, that's a lot of oil. A lot of oil. That's pretty amazing. I don't know if you guys can see the level in there, but I'd say 4 to 6 ounces of oil being pumped in your intake every 5,000. Think you probably have 8 ounces of oil going in there. 8 to 12 ounces of oil being pumped every 5,000, or every 10,000 miles if you take it that long. Alright guys, now you've seen how much oil is in the catch can, even though it's just a cheap one. eBay catch can, that's crazy. So if you go 10,000 miles, you're going to have an issue with your valves and stuff. It'll cook on there, and then you're going to have valve problems and issues with your ecoboost. So I strongly suggest getting catch can. My cheap one works pretty good. I'm satisfied with it. So if you guys like my videos, please smash the like button. Please subscribe, and don't forget about the notification bell to see future videos. I'll catch you guys later. Have a great evening.